my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. So happy June. It is June and I'm going all rainbows and love and good thoughts for June. Why not? It's pouring rain out right now. So, you know, I'm taping. It's not June the 3rd when I'm taping, of course. But yeah, I am channeling gorgeous, gorgeous June weather. I don't know. I like June. I think it's one of my favorite months. Might be because there's a birthday in our family, you saw it on the calendar, and our wedding anniversary at the end of the month. So, you know, it's a great month. Okay, what do we have? We've got Dino Day, we've got nail polish. Yes, we do. And what do we have? Paradise lanterns. But first, we have to get this public service announcement. Harrisonburg Quilts, all of you Harrisonburg quilt makers, we are on a deadline now at the end of this month of June. You need to have your entry in so that your quilt can be exhibited at the museum. Have you ever thought about having your quilt hang in a museum? Well, this is your chance, my friend. Since the Virginia Quilt Museum is relocating, I talked to the director, Alicia, and she said that they can actually take a few more pieces because they have much better methods and ability to hang things. Even though the space is actually about the same amount, they can hang things differently, much differently, because it's so open. And she said that allows them, we have a little bit more flexibility for a few more quilts. And there are categories, and don't let that scare you. Don't let that scare you. Just pick something. You'll be totally fine. Totally fine. This is not like going into Paducah or Houston for a show. The people who are looking at it are Wendy and myself and Alicia and the curator for the museum. So, you know, we are very, very flexible. Just do your best. Fill it out the best you can. Don't worry about it. And we appreciate you entering. We know that it's possible you won't all get in, but who knows how many will send in their applications. And of course, there is a small fee to do that so that things can be, you know, processed, and it supports the museum. That's really a big deal, and we appreciate all of you who trust us to take care of your quilts, for the museum to take care of your quilts if you do get selected. But it'll be so cool. It'll be so cool to have an exhibit of all these different style Harrisonburg quilts. Exciting. So I am going to be mentioning this a lot because I want to be sure that you have a chance to fill out the form and get your photo taken and submit. So this is the month. It's here. Tick tock, tick tock. You got to do it. It is nail polish day. I don't know why, but I just love that thought. And back in, when was it? Back in 2014. What you're looking at here is the pattern that the Fat Quarter Shop put out in 2014. That is 10 years ago. I tell you folks, I have been wanting to make this for 10 years. 10 years, and I have yet to do it. So I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut one up. Not on today's video, but during the next few days in June, sometime in June, I will cut it up because I love nail polish. I do. And let me just show you this other quilt that was done by Lori Holt at the time in 2014. She did several, and hers may have been reduced down in size because this block is 14 by 22. I can't remember. I remember somebody had done one where they actually made it a little bit smaller size. They redrafted it themselves, but I think that I'm just going to do the one. But I thought you could see it where there's actually not solids. The Fat Quarter Shop did a whole series of quilts with solids. These little mini quilts, like the Panda was another one. I can't remember the other ones, but this was one of them. And so theirs was in solids, and this one by Lori Holt was in her fabrics. Okay, I've been negligent in not updating this because we got to 100. There's 111,000, but I don't have a O or a 1. But I do have several of these that were made for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the double-sided tape, and I will just fold it. See? So I'll put double-sided tape here like this and see if I can get it all on there. So give me a second. There we are. I did it. So that I can hang that up there now. So after that, I've got the numbers, but that'll work fine. Don't you think that'll work fine? Okay, I had a couple things to show you. I got this from, Barb. Look at that. It is all like threaded. So that is, what does this say on the back? That's a work by Sarah Butcher. And she's an illustrator. It's machine embroidery, free motion machine embroidery made into cards. How cool is that? And Barb is from New York, and she found me mushroom stickers. These are Allison Glass by Allison Glass. Oh, so darling. And these are high quality vinyl, and it says I can put them on like my phone, or I'll probably put it here on my sewing machine. Oh, I'm gonna have to do one of those. I'm gonna put one on something. And I got this super cute bag. Wait 1 second, I gotta tell you who it's from. Okay, so this is from Marianne in Tennessee. Look at this, summer. Oh, but she, even Greg cracked up when he saw this, Marianne. He was like, let that shiitake go, baby, let it go. If those of you who may not be aware, shiitake is a type of mushroom, and they and it's kind of a long, skinnier mushroom. I think they're more like these tall, skinny ones in here. But look at the handle. Look at that. This is so darn cute. Thank you for thinking of me. Thank you. And I have to show you something my bestie Wendy sent me. Look at this. It is a pin cushion. Look at that, in a shaker box. It's built on a shaker box. And it's done by an Etsy group called Suffolk's Shaker Shop. And Wendy doesn't know this. I'm going to tell her to watch the video today. Wendy doesn't know this, but I have 2 shaker boxes. I love shaker boxes. And we used to have a artisan type craft place here in our locally. I'm sure it's around still. It's just not where the one was that we shopped at. But I have 2 shaker boxes, and I've had them for quite a long time now. And so I'll just pick up the smaller one. So the lids just sit on like this. They're all handmade. They're beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I just love them. Love them. So now I have a small pincushion one. These actually sit in my kitchen, and I keep different things, like there's stamps and there's jewelry actually in one of them that's I wear though. So I've got different things in them. Okay, first now let's go and check out the DINO fabric, the Roar fabric, because I made a test block. Let's go. So if you have my book, you can either use this book, which is Here's the Quilt, or you can use my crush pattern, which you can purchase from my digital store. So either way, it's the same pattern, except that the one in the book, which is called Liberty Hill for the celebrations, has the border pattern part. And the single pattern, I did the border afterwards for the book. So anyway, we are going to mock up the block. And let me see. I'm going to just use this fabric for the mock-up, and it's so fun. Now I don't need to get, it's big. This bird, this dinosaur, what are they? Pterodactyl, I think. Yeah, it's big, and so it has to fit into the square that I'm needing. But I am going to rotate him. I'm just going to use the line on the ruler, this line here, and put it sort of across his body and his wings. This will be, yes, there will be bias. That's not a big deal. Just sew carefully. If it's freaking you out, then use a starch. Starch it first. Then you'll be less freaked out. So I am just cut this guy right here. I don't have to do anything else, just cut a little past, and here I'm just going to cut down, and we'll sacrifice that little chunk out there for design. So here it is. See, look how cool. Look how cool. I love it. So it's side, kind of on point, but not, the block is not on point, it's on square. So, but his wings are across the block, which is what I wanted, to get all the wings in. That does mean that the guy next to him here got a tip of his wing cut off, so I can't do the same thing for him, but I've got one full one down here. And then if I do need this fabric again, I do have the gray version, or I can use the one with a little bit of a tip cut off. That's not a big deal. There's one up here at the corner. Whoops, you can't see it. There's one up here. It's got a lot more wing cut off though, so it could be, that could be saved for something else. Same, you know, that's on repeat, so he's down there again. Okay, now this will go, I'm going to mock up the dot. Whoops. So we're going to have the dot for the background, and I had this burgundy, the sort of deep plummy color. So that'll be what the star point is. So we'll have the star point. We will have this in the middle with some other fabric, so I might be able to use a piece of this for some of that surround that I have to cut. So this is where I'm going. I'm going to make one mock-up here. Now I did order for this background, for the stars on the background that goes with the print. There it is, with the border print. The background that goes with the border print. So it's in the middle of the border print. This I ordered Tulip Pink Stardust, I believe it's called, or Fairy Dust maybe. But I ordered peach, so I'd have kind of this pinky, plummy color and the peachy color, and that one has the little birds and little stars and stuff, kind of like little stars that are in here, and they'll be on this background, so I'll keep it consistent. I also ordered more dot, of course, because I only had this fat quarter of the dot, which is not going to go very far. So the next thing is I need to take a look at all the other measurements and then cut the dots, and let's see how crazy they look. Okay, I did it. I cut some. That's a bit scary. This is a big print. This is a big dot. Dinosaur eggs, she calls it. Okay, so what I did is notice that I did 3 of these across the one edge, and it was kind of having this sort of partial dot. Whoops, partial dot. See the partial dot? So what I did is cut another one, the 4th one, so that it would have kind of that partial dot. Now there is another, to get this 4-corner unit, there's another strip that has to go and up here. It touches to this part. There's a strip that sews onto here. So it might be better actually to flip them this way, so the strip is sewn to the dotted edge, but these would be like right at the seam allowance. So I don't know. I have to see. Now, I cannot possibly fussy cut that many of these. It's like, there would just be too many, too much. So it's probably just going to end up being what it is. The other thing is that extra little bit that I cut off when I was making this square. I do need these smaller. This is all I could get from it. The rest was not wide enough, so they'll go in the scrap bag. But I've got one, so I have to do a few more of these for making the center point, having that looks like it's on point part, the sideways. That's what these are. So they go on all 4 sides. So I need a few more of those, which is fine. I need to cut this background strips, the rest of those, plus what goes in here. So it is ultimately not going to be something where I can really fussy cut those dots. The dots are going to be big and chaotic, and I can't wait to see what they look like. So I'm going to cut more of them up and then just show it to you kind of laid out before I sew it. So I've cut all of the background from the fat quarter, so there's not enough to do another one, which is fine because I have more on the way, but I want to show you all the components. I don't have another bigger board right now. They're all in use. So here's the center. These are the points, the star points. So all these units here go for the star points. And then these are the corners of the background. And so I will be, let me just lay this down so you can kind of see. This is where these guys will get sewn together. So, that's where the dot starts to get crazy mushy. So I'll just sort of flip it around and see what I think when I get ready to sew. Maybe it'll go like that. Okay, something like that. So let me just sew a couple parts. Well, I moved up to the bigger board. This is the 18-inch board, yeah. So look at these dots. Oh my gosh. All right, it's not sewn in sections. So they're all kind of, and these are all sections because I want to show you a couple things that I will audition placement before I go and sew it all together. But this is what it's going to look like. So these are the big dino egg print. Oh, this cracks me up. Yeah, and it is crazy. I know that might not be for everybody, but it is for me, baby. It is for me. That just makes my heart sing. Okay, here is our gorgeous dino. Now what I want to look at, so here is what I did. I ended up with those sort of quarter or less than a quarter. I put them where they would face up to the block or face towards the block, like here, towards the block, towards the block, towards the block, towards the block. And then that way the big dots were all on the outsides like this, because these guys were going to get chopped off. And then when I put this section here, I put the smaller pieces towards the purple or towards the fuchsia. Okay, these guys now, I can adjust sort of, I'm going to look for a few things. First, let me just look at the big dots because that's like the bigger impact. Like if I sew these two together with the seam allowance, they kind of, I don't know, they look like butt cheeks. So, no. So I do not want that. So I just need to switch so that I have one that doesn't have the circles meeting right together like that. See? So much better. And then these are okay. These will be, they're also, kind of wonky. Can I do something better? Will it matter? There, so I just switch. You got to be really careful with placement. Plus, when you use a dark background, I think sometimes our brain gets a little like confused. Is this background or part of the block? No, it's background. So here, that's probably this choice. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. There we go. Just to see what this will look like. See? Yeah. So that's just the way it's going to be. Because these are such a huge image, I can't do anything about that. The other place that I might want to look at is what is touching here. These images here, are they making some kind of weird secondary image? Like this one is all kind of like not my fave, but can I do this? Let me change here and here. Oh, that's still as much pattern. That didn't help. They all have that much pattern. I can't put that one back there because I would get the big circle again. All right, so I'll probably just have to deal with that. There isn't much I can do about that because these are two different directions. These two pieces, when you follow the pattern, they're not equal. They're like mirror images, so you have to sew them mirror image. The pattern shows you one way, shows you the other way. So don't make all 8 of these points the same because they're not. 4 the same, the other 4 the same. Okay, so if you could, I mean, like if I were to have, hindsight now, maybe I would flip one of those to something like this that has less pattern on it, but it doesn't make me too crazy. It's kind of cool, so I'm okay with that. All right, so there we go. So now I can sew that up. So what did you think? Huh? Is this, here it is. It's all sewn. So you pretty much could see pretty closely what it was going to look like there as I was getting the parts together. But man, oh man, do I love it. I love it so much. So I'm not sure what to call this color. Berry, I might start calling it berry. or fuchsia, one of the fuchsia. It's a little more muted than fuchsia for me, how I think of fuchsia, but so I think berry would be good. I think it's an art gallery fabric, one of their basics or something. I'm not really sure. But it turned out so awesome. I love how the bird, the pterodactyl, looks in there. And the dino eggs, they're crazy. And I know that will not suit some of you. This isn't something you personally would use for background, but that's fine. That's fine because I love it. Love it. Now, I have not tested the other style block from that other pattern yet. Oh, it's over there. I can't reach it, but you know, I'm still going to test one. I am waiting for the order to come with the peach fairy print, fairy dust or whatever. It's Tula's and it has the little birds on it that look like the old-fashioned tattoos. So I have that coming. And when I get that, I will test the bigger block because I don't, well, in that same thing will come the dots. But I don't have I either don't have the peach or I don't have more dots to try another one of these. So, you know, I have to wait till that arrives. Okay, and then we'll wrap up here with Paradise Lantern. I have the last section sewn. Okay, and I've got a clip on here so I know what the top is on it. So there's the last 2 rows. So I'm gonna put the last 2 rows on, and next week these will be on, and I will put the border. So here you can see on our page in the pattern that, you know, it has a border all the way around it, and so I am definitely putting that border on. And then we'll pick something for the binding. So I'm of course thinking this red for binding. Are you surprised? Are you surprised for red? Oh, you should not be, my friend. You should not be surprised. Okay, so that is Paradise Lanterns for this week. I hope you will share some of yours. There's not been a lot of you sharing Paradise Lanterns, which is totally fine. Totally fine. You either aren't making it or yours are the exact same fabrics of mine. And I know when you make yours with the exact same fabrics that I do, you tend not to share your progress. You can, but I just find that over time that has been kind of the case because yours looks pretty much like mine, which is awesome, awesome. You can still share it. Okay, my friend, here is my test block, and this is a go. This is a go because I love it so much, and it is going to be a monster because I am going to put that 10-inch border on all 4 sides. It's just whether I do 9 blocks or 12 blocks. Do I want a square or a rectangle? And do I have enough fabric to do a rectangle? Oh, I didn't measure, but you know, it's like 3 yards and you get a border piece on each side. So that's 6 yards of border. So I'm hoping even the rectangle, that's fine. I just didn't measure. Okay, that's why you just wing it. We just wing it at times. All right, my friend, I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.